Hello everyone, welcome to Modded Grim Dawn. Now this is something I'm going to alternate with the hardcore because I'm not going to play hardcore mod games at all because that's just silly. This series is more as a casual, fun kind of thing while I work on demonstration characters in the background. This first mod is just simply the most recently updated mod, which is why I chose this one. This is specifically called the Pet Patch mod. The creator's username will be in the description below. Because for the life of me, I'm so bad with names, I can't remember right now. I need to actually have it up to put that in. Otherwise, I found this on Nexus Mods, obviously, which is where I primarily go for most of my mods. Again, this is a pretty much for fun thing. The only thing this mod does is it increases the amount of pets you both get and maintain through the pet granting abilities. I'm pretty sure that they extended the definition of pet to include wind devils. I think, but I'm not 100% sure. But regardless, I'm only going to be playing through this mod a couple of times, not obviously consecutively. I'll play through this character to kind of show off the mod and the changes, and then switch to another mod. Of course, it'll be alternating with hardcore, obviously, hardcore regular, and just kind of showcase mods as they come along and as they get updated, because this is a relatively easy to mod game as long as you're not a moron like me trying to fiddle around with things. So we're going to go ahead and start with, I think we're going to do an occultist shaman pet focused build at the beginning, because I want to test out the ravens. And here's 4. Now, I was told by the mod to set them all to aggressive. There we go. Alright. Now, is this going to be OP? Yes, it is. Let's be really honest. But that's alright. This is just for kicks. You've already seen me play through regular characters. You're all interested in the endgame characters, which is understandable. I am working on a endgame character to demonstrate builds with. Specifically the Commando. I think I'm going to do it in sort of order, so to speak. But this is the only mod that I've got on, is the Pet Patch. There is an extended version of this mod that... The actual mod is called Pet Patch, by the way. But there is a extended version of this mod that I did not install because it made a bunch of other abilities massively overpowered. These abilities were all typically ones that either were passive buffs for the player, or they were aura buffs that could also affect your pets. These were all made, like, supremely OP. And while the pets themselves are going to be OP, I didn't want to make this any more OP than it already was. So we are going to just run with the pets because I think it's funny. Short answer. And so you can see this. The most interesting part of the mod, I'll actually say, it's not the only interesting part of the mod, but the most interesting part of the mod is it does make the temporary pets permanent. As I said before, that extends to wind devils by apparently the mod creator's definition. But this also makes the manticore thing, or whatever that's called, the shaman's ultimate pet, it makes that permanent again. Which I miss. I liked it when it was permanent, personally. I didn't find it overpowered based on, considering it's basically an exclusive skill. I didn't find that overpowered to me, but that's just my opinion. I'll probably go for an elemental build with this. So I'm probably not going to level up much more than the crow here for occultist. Probably. Unless I decide to go very heavy on the bleed. Which is possible as well. I could do that. That would actually not be bad. But yeah, that's what this mod does. It just makes just scads of pets. We are going to use two-handed weapons, I think. Just to at least give me some sense of risk here. So, yes, I have a platoon of crows. As you do. And yeah, that's basically how we're gonna roll with this. That's the story, Wishbone. All right. this could get chaotic. Now, I know there is a mod that also increases the number of enemies. That could very likely be used. No, you can't use multiple mods simultaneously, can you? Well, I don't know if you can. I don't think you can. It's at least not easy to do. But if the mod creator wanted to up the ante of the difficulty, simply increasing either enemy health or enemy numbers would balance at least the increased pet version a little bit here. But yeah, I'll only be playing through this. Let me see. We've got Occultist Shaman, because I know both of those were affected. Necromancer, obviously. I think that's just those 3 classes. So I think I'll only be playing through this 3 times. Once with Occultist Shaman, once with Occultist Necromancer, and once with Shaman Necromancer. And I think that'll be it. So you'll only ever see me play this mod about 3 times. Unless I'm forgetting one of the classes that has been adjusted. I am not going to be playing the extended version. Again, that is grossly overpowered. Like, this is already going to be overpowered. I didn't need more. But just be aware there is an extended version of this mod that unless the demand for the extremely overpowered version is really high, I don't intend on touching that. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and spam pets here. I might go all the way to Bonds of Bismuel. I'm not really sure. Could be really interesting. There are other mods I also intend on playing, but I'm just going to go with this one because, first off, being that it's overpowered, running through the game with this is probably going to be pretty quick, as you can tell. This is probably not going to be a particularly difficult playthrough for very understandable reasons, but that is okay. We're just here for the kicks. And the devotion points are going to be interesting. I'm not sure how I'm going to go ahead and divvy those out. If I do a physical bleeding focused build, there'll still be certain shaman skills I'll want to be using. Maybe Bloody Pox, but I'm not sure. I guess it kind of depends on what items I wind up picking up as well. Because obviously this is, you know, beyond a test character or 2. Actually, yeah, I had one test character that I created to test mods with. He's level 1. No, he's level 2 now, I think. And then there was another character that I had that is actually the character that caused me to lose all of my save data a year or 2 ago. He's there. I'm kind of afraid to delete him, and I'm also afraid to play him. So he's just kind of sitting there at level, I think, 3 or 4. Just sitting there in my custom character selection. But that's about all I've got. So I don't have any actual items for this mode. But that really doesn't matter, to be completely honest. Most mods focus on making you a little bit overpowered like this one. Not all of them do. There are mods that make life more difficult. Like I said, there is a mod out there that increases the enemy density, which I also do intend at some point to play. This is just the most recently updated mod. As of yesterday when I downloaded the mod. So that's why I'm playing this mod first. It's just the most recently updated, so I know it's the most likely to work. And as, you know, once I'm done with this run through, I'll play another mod. Maybe, well, I'll play probably a couple of other mods, and then switch back to this for one more playthrough, and, you know, run like that. And we'll just have a really magical time with it. Now, let me see, if I'm going to go for physical and bleeding, let me see. She requires purple and green. And I think, okay, that's... green and blue. Alright, so we're going to need some green anyways. But we would really probably start with the blue. There's also a lot of yellow as well. What do you do? Taunt, damage absorption. Fire. Fire wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. That's yellow and blue, huh? We can absolutely go for the crane. What is that? 8? Yeah, that's 8. Let me see here. We could also go for the panther. We will start with the yellow and go for the panther and then roll from there, I think. Would be the best idea. Because the panther increases pets, and I believe it does physical damage. Nah, energy regeneration, just random damage in general. That's fine. I'm thinking of something else. What am I thinking of? The bear? Either the bear... I know the stag does physical damage and internal trauma. But that's not pets. I'm kind of also interested in how many skeletons have been increased. I'm not 100% sure the skeletons have been increased, but I'm assuming they have, because it would kind of be silly to increase the number of every other pet and not increase the amount of skeletons you get. Right? That would be weird. Go ahead and sell those. Alright. And there we go. Yeah. And we'll chat you up. And we'll go ahead and boost the crows even more and just go over here. Alright. And hello. Alright. So, actually, I haven't... I'll do this instead. I was going to originally pick the shaman and do an elemental build. I don't necessarily need to. What I'm going to do instead is let you choose if I use the shaman or the necromancer. Because I'm going to end the episode here. It's a good dozen minutes of a sampling, a taste. I don't think the rest of this... Yeah, I don't think any of the other... I don't think anything else has been changed except for, very specifically, the number of pets you get, and I think the Wind Devils have turned into pets. They've been coded to be pets, so that way they benefit from pet boosting items. And I'm pretty sure that they're permanent. The Manticore is permanent. And I think that's all it does, is just boost pet numbers. I think this is what? It's 4. You get 4 Hellhounds. I don't intend on going for the Hellhounds at this time, but that could change. But yeah, if you want me to go into Shaman, just leave that in a comment down below. If you want me to go into Necromancer, just leave that in a comment down below. If somebody's already commented on which one you want, just go ahead and upvote that, and I'll use that. But yeah, if you want to, if nobody comments one or the other, I'm just going to by default pick Shaman, because I'm very curious about the Wind Devils. But if you want Necromancer more, I'll absolutely go into Necromancer. That would be fantastic and totally fine with me. So just let me know what you think. This is going to... Modded Grim Dawn is going to be a long-running series where I will be running through the game non-hardcore with the mods active. How many times I run through a mod will depend on what the mod changes. This is, like I said earlier, this mod I'll be running through 3 different times, not consecutively. That's important to know. Once I play this character, you probably won't see this mod again until possibly next year or really late this year, because I've got other mods to go through. The series will be alternating with the hardcore Grim Dawn, so it's not going to be a fast progression, despite the fact that it's obviously overpowered. And not all mods are going to be about overpowered. Like I said, there is one that increases enemy density that I've heard about. It just depends on how recently that's been updated. But that's going to be the premise of this. And then interspersed between these episodes will be level 100 characters that I'll be demonstrating the builds that I talk about in the class examinations. I'm prepping a character for that specific purpose right now. But anyways, with that being said, thank you all very much for joining me. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, suggestions, or requests, particularly requests for my second mastery, please leave them down in the comment section below. I'm not sure why I had a problem saying that. If you liked this, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, please ignore me. And, yeah, have a great 24 hours.